This just arrived. Let's get it open and see what's in there. Well, there it is. You might recognize one of these. They're like those 1980s kind of Rambo knockoff type survival knives. And I've already done a couple videos of these style blades years ago, but this one came up on eBay and I had to have it because the blade was different, and overall it's just larger than the ones I remember. It kind of reminds me of the one I had back when I was young, clear back in the 80s. But let's take a quick look at it. You get the vinyl fake leather sheath that they came with, and it has the same middle retention strap, which doesn't really hold the knife in super well, but that's the same. It comes with the little sharpening stone there, if I can get it to come out, but we've all seen them. It's that little gray, like Arkansas stone. It feels pretty rough. It's probably 220 or even rougher. Might be 150. And this outside piece here is just plastic. Yep, it's got the sharpening stone. Very, very thin, like vinyl with just some cheap rivets. I think whoever had this might have added this black twine here. It's like nylon rope for a leg tie, but the snap still works on it. And let's get it out of the pack, out of the sheath here. Look at the size of this one. The one I originally had was larger like this, I believe. It did have the, I think it had the bottle opener on it though, if I remember right. This one does not. And mine said 420 stainless steel Taiwan. Just like this one does. Trying to get that to focus at all. This got a mirror finish on it, so it certainly doesn't want to focus. But it says 440 stainless Taiwan. And if I remember right, I think mine, old one, I can't remember if it was 420 or 440, but I always believed that it was larger like this, and I just thought like, well, maybe I was just smaller when I was young, you know. But then this one come up, and it reminds me more of like the one I had. So I think there might be one out there that has the bottle opener, but it's just overall larger like this. And I still have yet to find that one. But this one has the compass on it. It's lacking a little bit of the fluid in there, but so it can't work really good. I'd have to find a way of replacing the compass or adding some extra fluid in there. Okay, you can disassemble this. This is just plastic on this one. You have the compass there. And this is what it sets in, and this is plastic also. Just drops into place. And you put this top piece on to hold it. You get these two little slot rings, like key rings that you use for the cable saw, which comes in the little survival pack in here. I don't think everything is in here, but it looks like most of it is. There's some lead sinkers, some fish hooks, a little match striker, like 3 matches, and the cable saw, and the fishing line. I do see fishing line in there. I think mine had a sewing needle and a couple other things, the original one I had. But this handle's just hollow plastic, so that's not super great. Because if you were to ever chop with this or do any kind of hard work with it, it would just split. The knife would separate from the handle, but I'm trying to see if I can get you some light to see in there. But I don't know if that's going to happen. All right. Get a little light down in there. can see down in there, that's just the tang of the knife, and it's held on with a bolt. And there's a little space on each side of it there, those two little black squares. Part of the selling point was that you could take everything out, carve a stick and put down in there, and then turn this into a spear, which was, you know, an interesting idea, I guess, back in the day. It has a metal guard, and this one looks like it has a little bit of a spike up there on this piece, but then it's wider down here. I don't know if they were trying to go for like screwdriver type effects or what, but then it has these two little jut outs on the side too, which the other ones didn't have. Very like forward heavy, as you could imagine. And this blade, it's real thick in the center. Like you can feel, I mean, it's as thick as that there. It's over 1/8. And it's just a saber grind, obviously, mirror finish on it. Doesn't have anything written on this side. The saw tapers more on this one. It comes almost to like a blade type edge. But I mean, this was old and used when I bought it, but it's in really good condition. And I was wondering if it would be possible to put a socket down in there and take the knife off, which I know that's possible, but then swap this plastic handle out with a metal handled version, the one that was done in aluminum. Keep this guard, but I'm not sure if the tang on the blade is the same. I don't know if it would fit. I think it would, because I think it's just a screw. But until I completely disassembled it, I'd never know. If you wanted to give it a little more rigidity and toughness, you could take some of that steel stick epoxy and put down in the handle, and that would stop the bolt from ever turning. Like you could just put a small amount, press it down in there, and that would solid that up. But with hard use, the plastic still might split. So the only other thing you could really do would be to fill it up completely with like steel stick, and that would make it pretty indestructibly solid in there. But then you can't carry anything in the handle anymore, so it would just basically be like a solid knife at that point. Okay, this one's got like a little over 7 inches on the cutting edge, and the whole blade is about 8 3/4, close to it. And then the entire knife itself is about 14 1/4 if you go clear out to the little bump out there on the compass. You're looking at about 4 inches where you grip it, but the entire handle's about almost 5 1/2. The widest point on the blade is just about 1 3/4. And thickness is just a hair over 1/8. Okay, I got a sheet of printer paper here. Now this is used, but let's see if it is sharp. Not too bad. Okay, Stand Sport makes a version of this blade, except it's a smaller version and it has the plastic handle. And I got it here. This is just boot shoelace. I added it on there instead of paracord. I just thought it looked cool. But you get this sharpening stone with the Stand Sport, and it's the same kind of like vinyl case, super thin, slides out of the sheath the same way, the whole 9 yards. But this one's like mint condition because I bought it new. But they don't stamp the steel on them. Like, it doesn't say Taiwan, it doesn't say China, it doesn't say 420, it doesn't say 440, none of that. And it has a kind of a different weird saw than what the original had, I think. But it does have the can opener, or the bottle opener, I mean. But you can see the size difference on those. Handles are fairly similar, pretty close, but you know, this is obviously thicker. So it's like, in my memory, I had one that was more like this, but the blade was more like this, you know. Had like the bottle opener and everything on it. And I do have one, this has the plastic handle too, which I don't care for. Okay, this is my other one, and it has the same vinyl case, same sharpening stone. The only difference is this one has the aluminum handle. So there's that. And I think the one I had back in the day, it had the bottle opener, which was more pronounced like this. And the saw is a little different on this one compared to this one. They're pretty similar, but... And then this says 420 stainless Taiwan. And if I remember right, I think that's what my old one said. It either said 440 Taiwan or 420, but I think it was a larger knife like this. So, yeah, and I don't know if it's just my imagination or if it was larger like this. Until this one come along, I kind of gave up thinking that one like this even existed. But then here it is. So maybe I am remembering it more correctly than I thought. But yeah, I do like the aluminum handle on this. I wouldn't mind taking the bolt off and switching the blades out and putting the aluminum one on this, but I put steel stick in these 2 years ago, so they're gonna stay on there for life now. So this one I haven't yet, so I could always pick up an old beater with the aluminum handle and then swap it out, which I think I might do just because I want it to be like a better quality blade, you know. But yeah, a lot of people probably haven't seen this one, or at least they haven't seen it lately. So I thought I'd show that off real quick. But you can see how these just have the little flat, straight handguard. Just hardly nothing there. Whereas this one has the more pronounced one with the side flares and everything. Definitely more weight with this. This one's weight comes from the aluminum handle, whereas this one's comes from the heavy blade. But yeah, having this aluminum handle with this guard on this big knife would be perfect. But I don't have a whole lot of information on them. Some people call them Ronco knives. Other people call them Gutman. And so many of them come out of Taiwan and come out of China. And there's more quality ones that came out of Japan and stuff, but I'm talking about just these ones with this big bulbous compass handle and all that, you know. And the real cheapo vinyl sheath that everyone remembers, because they were just, every store it seemed had a version of it in the 80s. Even grocery stores started carrying them in some places. But let me see, I'm just checking this box out on this old, yeah, there it is right there. It says made in China. And that's this one right here, the Stand Sport one. It doesn't have any real markings on it. But it does come with all the stuff that everybody remembers. So if you can't find one, or you don't want to get an old destroyed one, you can get this Stand Sport one brand new. I think there's a Ruko one too. It's R-U-K-O. And it's pretty much just like this. It has the plastic handle too, I believe. I don't know, this wasn't a Stand Sport. This is one of the old original ones with the heavy metal handle. I don't know if you can tell, but because I painted this a little bit, but see how that's silver? That's because this is like aluminum. Even this cap up here is aluminum. It's got some real weight to it. So this is a much more weighty handle. But you can see the handle is like more narrow than this one. So I don't think you can do the switch, because I don't think the tang would fit in and it would work out. It might, but who knows. Okay, but all of these are slightly different. Like, you can't put this one in this one's sheath because the retention strap is too tight. But it seems like it works on this metal one. It works. This one fits, you know, so blah, blah, blah. But then, of course, this one with the extra thick, like, jumbo handle, it's only going to work with the giant sheath, of course. All right, here I got my Kershaw survival knife. This is like a really, like a true survival knife, like a serious one. And it's not just like a cheapo like these things, but you can see how much larger this is even than the Kershaw version. This is it beside a cold steel Trailmaster, as big as those blades are. So you can see this is actually a substantial 80s survival knife. Well, that's all I have for this unboxing, and a quick look at this jumbo-sized 440 stainless steel 1980s Rambo knockoff survival knife made in Taiwan. I wanted to get this video out there because you don't see these anywhere, so I figured I definitely would let people know that they do exist. They're just very hard to come by. But I hope you enjoyed this video.
This is Joe Doomsday, signing out.
I could have killed them all. I could have killed you. I'm telling you the law. Out here, it's me. Don't push it. Don't push it. I'll give you a war you won't believe. Let it go. Let it go.